This channel is supported by TrueFire. TrueFire is an online library of lessons from some of my favourite players. There's thousands of lessons on there. You can use the promo code JNC40 to get 40% off of any of their courses.
Okay, I've never tried a Zoom product, possibly ever, certainly not since I was a kid, and I've had a few people ask if I could demo certain bits and pieces, and I've never really thought, I particularly want to. However, the Multistomp is a pretty cheap piece of gear, and I think it's got potentially some cool stuff in it. That is what I'm going to hopefully try and find out in this video. I've not plugged it in yet. I'm going to film an intro now, and then I'll go back and show you kind of the bits and pieces that I was using in that intro. Hopefully that's interesting. Let me know if you've got a Multistomp in the comments and how you use it, if you use it, and yeah, let's have a look. Here's the box for the pedal. I just wanted to do a quick kind of reaction here because I've just spent about an hour with this, which is, I think, about the amount of time that you really need before you start to figure out how the rather quirky kind of pedal interface works. It's capable of running up to 6 blocks in a preset, so this is essentially like a modeler all in one tiny little pedal. Now, I'm not saying that it sounds amazing or anything, but I found at least kind of 3 or 4 things which I really like the sound of. The particle reverb for one, the ice delay, which is kind of reminiscent of the Strymon timeline, and the Two-Rock amp model in there. I'm having a lot of fun playing with that. So even if you found like 3, 4, 5 uses of this thing, it's kind of a bit of a no-brainer. I think it's sort of putting a few more recent companies to a little bit of shame, because it's like, well, why do these things have reverse delays? They have reverse reverbs, they have loads of pitch effects, pitch delays, loads of really interesting effects, and yet some pedals out there kind of struggle with some of the basics. It's really quite an impressive little pedal. I was sniffy about this thing. Let's just dig in deeper and I'll show you some of the things that I like about it.
I have to say, I'm thoroughly impressed with this little thing. There's a few elements of it that I think border on genius. And now, it's a little bit tricky to use. So you've got kind of like a directional pad here. So this is going to show you essentially what my signal chain is here. So I've got a noise gate in position 1, and the signal travels this way. So you get it like it seems a bit reversed to what we're used to, I think, in the Western world, where we read that way. The signal chain actually goes from right to left. So yeah, I go in position 1, noise gate; in position 2, 2-rock; in position 3, a graphic EQ; position 4, carbon delay, and then a plate reverb. And so that's that. To edit this, let me try and remember. I did this last night. That's how you get into your kind of memory. Oh, this one here, you can edit your effects chain, get rid of things, enter, and then you kind of lift up and move the noise gate left to right. Anyway, guitar in, and then you see your effect chain like that. So that's kind of the basics of the thing. As I say, I think it took me probably about an hour before I got a good sense for how that works. But what I think is really genius about this is you see in the corner here we've got A, B, D. What we can do is set up kind of exactly what presets we want to switch between. You can have like a cycle of presets. So I've got A, B, C, D, and they're all non-sequential. So some of the things that I really like, for example, was this particle verb. That's actually based on a line 6, Who's What's It, and I think it's as good as, I don't know, it's just an incredible sounding effect, I think. So I'm going to go across here to, so first of all we've got compressor, then we've got the particle reverb here. If you want to see what these things are like, kind of you get a couple of pages of parameters with most of the effects. So here, you've got mono and tails and that sort of stuff. So that's one of the effects that I really liked. Then we press again, we can get to, I believe, the ice one, which is again one of my favourite effects on this Strymon timeline. And if we go in, you see what we got on this. We got kind of mix, time, feedback. Then on page 2 we have the interval, so you could have this just up an octave or something like that. Or where it was for me, what was it, is up perfect fifth. And you can blend these slices. Just sounds incredible. We've got smear settings, so kind of diffusion, I think. Just a really cool sounding effect. What else have I got going on in this one? I've got dual delay, and at the end, let me put that, I'm going to move that actually, because this was created when I didn't understand this thing properly. So lift up the Dr. Z drive, move to the front of the chain, then possibly now if I wanted to add another effect to this, I think I go plus, and then we select our effect type that we want. So I'm going to add a reverb, I think, if I can. Press this one down to enter, and then we kind of scroll through the effects types like this. Come on, give me a reverb. I might have used too much DSP already. I think I have. Ah, here we go, here's one. Maybe not that one. Just keep going. Plate. There's so many cool effects in this thing. Right, that's not going to work anyway, is it? So we'll exit this, exit, and then if I press again, I can go through to my next preset. So this is the 2-rock one. I put together 2 of these. And if you want to see the preset, what we get is this. We've got gain, tube, which is kind of like master volume. You've got level, then page 2 you've got treble, middle, bass, as you'd expect, and then you've got different cabs and presence. Don't know what this outline thing does. Okay, you can change the types of things that you're plugging into, but just pretty cool sounding, I think. Not sure if it's terribly realistic, but it's just so cool for the money. Let me know your thoughts on the Zoom. Have you tried one? Have you used one? Have you got this for like a little practice or a backup or something? Do you use one live? I think it's a great little unit. Cheers for stopping by. Feel free to like and subscribe. Cheers.